it going? This is Andrea with Go Diaper Free, and I'm so excited to share with you guys today another question from one of our audience members, Sarah. Sarah has a question about newborn crying, and I love this question because there is nothing that can stop you from pottying your baby and getting into the whole wonderful world of EC. There's nothing to stop that like a newborn crying. This is episode 209. You can get the show notes over at godiaperfree.com/209, where you can ask questions, comment, link. I'll link to everything I mentioned in today's show. And also, you can just read it if you'd rather do that or finish up or come back later or whatever happens when you got a baby right there with you. Okay, so let's listen to Sarah's question real quick.
Hi, Andrea. I have a newborn. He's 2.5 weeks old. He screams and cries whenever I put him over the sink to potty or the top hat potty. I've only been able to potty him twice in 2.5 weeks. Is it a lost cause, or should I keep trying with EC? Thank you.
First things first, no, Sarah, it's not a lost cause. You guys, there are so many different ways to do EC. There's so many different receptacles. There's different things you can do while it looks like it's not working, but it's actually something else is going on. You've got a newborn who hasn't come fully into her own body yet. And I really feel like, and I don't know if this was a boy or girl, so I'm just going to say her. At 2.5 weeks old, I know for a fact that baby is still getting into her body, coming into just like being here. And with that, it's very, I don't know, it's just a time when everything is a cry, if that makes sense. So yeah, you've tried the top hat potty, which I would recommend to anybody for whom it's not working over the sink. You have tried over the sink as well. So another thing that might be happening is that baby doesn't feel very safe and secure. It's just like, wait, I just really want to be really super close to you or dad. So what I want to recommend you do, I did this with Branson when he wasn't even rolling over yet. So I just remember being at Biltmore, this huge estate near our house that we're pass holders for. And I remember laying him on a waterproof pad on a table and cueing him to go. And he went on it. And then I put his diaper back on and put him back in my carrier. And it was fine. I just folded up the waterproof pad and put it in my diaper backpack, and that was it. What I was doing, and he was probably about 4 to 6 weeks old, so similar age. What I would highly recommend to you or anybody else who has a newborn who's crying is 2 different things. Number 1, always try the cradled classic hold. So that's going to be your holding baby in EC position, classic EC position under the thighs. Baby's back is up against your chest, kind of in between your boobs. If you're the one doing it, if it's dad, and it's in between his chest. Basically, you want baby touching your body and to feel really snug. We're not holding them out and over anything. We're holding them very close to ourselves. If that doesn't work, we're going to use, and maybe the upright position is creating gas, or there's something that just doesn't feel right because they're not supposed to be sitting upright yet. So obviously it might not feel right. You're going to move from that position into have the baby's head in the angle of your elbow. So right where baby is if you nurse breastfeed, right there when you're holding baby cradled into the nook of your elbow. You're still holding the thighs and aiming. So that's the first quick fix. If baby's better doing that, then you don't have to go on to the second one. The second one is to get a waterproof pad. I've got these awesome ones at tinyandys.com because I used the Cushies ones for a really long time. They kind of fell apart in the end, but the ones that I found and got manufactured under my name are like so soft. They're awesome and they're really big. So you can get one of those and work on sound association. And actually, it is a him. I'm so sorry. Whatever, you know what I mean. Work on sound association with him for now. So every time he goes on that waterproof pad, you're going to say pss for pee or for poop, or you can just say pee pee or whatever you want. Just use one thing consistently. And then provide diaper-free time on the same waterproof pad, or maybe just get a couple of them after feeding and when you know that he needs to go. And as he comes into himself, you'll be able to start over a receptacle again. So again, once that 4th trimester is over, which is the first 3 months of baby being out of the womb, you've got to be patient and know that things will rapidly change. At around 3 months old, they start to roll over. Highly recommend getting my newborn EC course, the golden window. Don't give up during this time period. This is going to get you, the parent, into a habit of pottying as well. But we're also working on sound association. We're building a common language around, hey, it's okay to release when you hear mommy saying, psst, okay? So as he comes into himself in the fourth trimester, you're going to be able to use a receptacle again. So don't get rid of your top hat potty. And all of a sudden, you'll be like, whoa, it works. And that's what keeps happening with EC over and over again. You're going to be like, all of a sudden, oh, it works. What didn't work last month works now. And I'm so confused, but hey, let's just roll with it. Roll with the flow, you guys. It's going to change all the time. And then before you know it, you'll be done and you'll be like, wow, that was a really short period of my child's babyhood already. So get the waterproof pad, focus on, hey, I'm doing something really good here. I'm doing sound association and my child doesn't have to go in a diaper. And then at times when you know he needs to go, after a bath, after feeding, first fuss after feeding, lay him on the pad. And also, like, try to keep him as fully dressed as possible. Use baby leg warmers. I've got chaps, baby chaps in my Tiny Undies store as well. So you can have just the genitals open air and the rest is covered so they're warm. Definitely want to use like baby kimonos and other types of baby t-shirts that are long sleeved. And do sound association, okay? And even if you need to do it while your baby's in a diaper, it's okay. You're still teaching something here. There are some cultures who don't even start EC until 6 months old. So don't feel like you've missed out on anything. Just do what works for now and also work on building that language and that awareness right now. And then be prepared for it to change very, very soon. If you have any advice for Sarah and her son, or if you have any questions as well, you're going through a similar thing of newborn crying every time you offer, and it's kind of making you lose your confidence, then go on over the show notes right now and leave a comment there. GoDiaperFree.com/209. I will also link to that newborn program. This is way more than my mini courses. This is way, way more of a deep dive into the newborn, step by step, stage by stage. What if this happens? What do I do here? And that newborn program is just for that newborn period, the first 4 months of life. And then I have a program for mobile babies. So you don't need to know that information yet. And then I have a program for young toddlers as well. So if you have my book, Go Diaper Free, great. If you don't, get it. And then I would also encourage you to join the program. The Go Diaper Free programs are just going to give you a little more hand holding and a little more granular detail, but I don't go overboard and it's definitely not too long for a busy new mom. So check that out over at GoDiaperFree.com/store and just click on programs and you can find that there. And I'll also link to that in the show notes as well for those of you who need it. Okay, great. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm Andrea Olson with Go Diaper Free and I'll see you next time.